Hey, Dad. I wanted to explain the keys here, and it'll just take 5 minutes. And I think I left the keys with you, but I didn't really give an explanation on what point value is equal to what point value. So this first one, what they should have, something like this, is we should have somewhere 2x minus 6 plus 12 equals 3x minus 2. And then they solve for x. And we should here get x equals 8. Now, if they have x equals 8, that's plus 1. If they plug in the x equals 8, right here, 2 times 8 is 16 minus 6. So that means this right here is 10. And then 3 times 8, that's another plus 1. 3 times 8 is 24 minus 2. That makes this 22, and that's also worth 1 point. So there's your 3 points. Plus 1 for x equals 8, plus 1 for AB equals 10, and plus another 1, 3 points for AC equals 22. Either they have that directly on the diagram, or they have a list. Either way. This one down here should look something like this. You have a segment PQ, and it has a midpoint of W. Because of that word midpoint, they must have these hatch marks. And then going this way, ST, the segment, ST, bisects PQ, so that W is also the midpoint of ST. There should be 2 hatch marks on either side. That's worth 2 points. So if they have something, and it also could be totally rotated. In other words, the ST and the PQ could be rotated, that's fine. So they get 1 point just for drawing the segments and having P and Q and S and T as 2 separate segments. Then they get a second point if they have the 1 hatch mark on the PQ and the double hatch mark on the ST. That's your second point, which means if we are minus the hatch marks, they only get plus 1. Okay, that is Bell. Smiley. Get Smiley. Yeah, Smiley. Smiley starts with the same idea. We're going to have 5x plus 11 equals 11x minus 1, and then they solve. And we should get 1 point x equals 2. 5 times 2, this should be 10. 11 times 2 is 22 minus 1. That means this should be 21, and 10 plus 11 is 21. So they get 1 point for this, 1 point for the 10, and then 1 point for the 21. Down here, PQ, midpoint of F, hatch marks. And then AB bisects PQ, so here we have another segment. Which one is A, which one B, it doesn't matter, so it could be flipped, it's totally fine. But it is a second midpoint, so they need to have 2 hatch marks. That's for 2 points. So they get 1 point just for getting those segments kind of drawn with the PQ and the AB. And then it's 1 point for the hatch marks being appropriate, 2 points total. This one, book, the setup is this: 11 plus 2x plus 4 equals 4x plus 7, and you solve So here x equals 4, that's plus 1. You come up here, that's 11. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 4, that's 12, so we got 12 here. And then here, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 23, and the way you can check 11 plus 12 is 23. So 1 point for the 4, 1 point for the 12, and 1 point for the 23. That's worth 3 points. Down here, we've got PQ, midpoint of G, hatch marks, and we have WX. Doesn't matter which one's W and which one's X, that can be switched, but that's also a midpoint going this way. So again, same thing, 1 point just for the segments with the appropriate letters, and G should be in the middle there, and then 1 point for the 1 hatch mark and the 2 hatch marks, so 2 points. This last one, 5 points total. This one, solve for x. We get x equals 5. And we come up here, that's worth 1 point. And then 3 times 5 is 15, minus 3, that's 12. 2 times 5, that's 10, plus 8, of course this is 18, and then 12 plus 6 is 18, there's your check. So plus 1 for this, plus 1 for that, plus 1 for that, 3 points total. And this one should look like this. DE, midpoint G, WX, doesn't matter which one's W and which one's X, but it's a midpoint going this way. So they get 1 point for the kind of the letters being in the right place, and then 1 point for 1 hatch marks, 2 hatch marks, total of 2 points there. All of these are 5 points total. Love you, Dad. Appreciate all your help.